Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, later on today we have the NASCAR Cup Series South Point 400, the 37th race from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 400.5 miles, 267 laps, 3 stages, 80, 85, 102, 9 sets of Goodyear Racing Eagles, 8 stickers, 1 qualifying scuff. Fuel window 63 to 70 laps, which means there will be a pit stop in every stage. That's how it should be. That way we get strategy, we get people to figure it out. I know there are a piece of the fan base out there that doesn't care for stages, and that's fine, it's your opinion. I personally think that stage racing has helped the racing over the years. There was a point in time where a race like this, 267 laps, typically about 150 of it was just to the first couple of pit stops, just right around, don't really push it, just be there at the end. With these stage breaks, you kind of have that, you race to 80 laps, you race to 165, you race to 267, and you have those, yes, predetermined pit stops, but you also can play strategies. Caution comes out with 5 before the end of the stage, you pit early, you flip the stage, you gain track position. 11 of the previous 13 Las Vegas winners qualified inside the top 10. We know we had qualifying yesterday, and we'll take a look at who qualified in the top 10. In the 36 previous races at Vegas, only 6 drivers have ever won the race qualifying outside the top 20. The pole speed was 186.961. That is the fastest at Las Vegas since 2018. I know they announced the horsepower increase from 670 to 750 on tracks 1.5 mile and less, or less than 1.5 miles. So it involves Darlington, Nashville, Worldwide Technology, just not tracks like Vegas and those kind of tracks. Which honestly, and I've said this online, people disagree with me, that's fine. I don't think we need to go in any of the corners at 200 mile an hour. I mean, this is just, what's the end goal? To see how far we can fly a stock car through catch fishing into the stands? I mean, now, in 2018, 188 was the pole speed. So we're what? A little over a mile, 1.1 mile an hour off. Okay. From 2010 through 2018, that's the only era in Las Vegas that the pole speed was faster than it is today. So from 1998 through 2009, it was slower than today. So as these cars develop, as these tires develop, with the 670 package we currently have, we do see pretty decent speed. 186 on the qualifying lap is not bad. You're going to have 190, 195 going into the corners in the draft. So you don't need, yes, there is still draft at a 1.5 mile track. We all know that. We just, some people aren't opening to the big picture of it and what it all looks like. Now, on these intermediate tracks, and intermediate's going to include Vegas, Kansas, Texas, Charlotte, Darlington, Homestead, Nashville. So all the 1.25 mile through 1.9 mile tracks that NASCAR has. William Byron, in those 39 races, average finish 10.0 with 3 wins. Denny Hamlin, average finish 11.5 with 3 wins. Christopher Bell, 12.1 with 2 wins. Ross Chastain, 12.3 and 3 wins. Kyle Larson, 12.9 and 7 wins. Joey Logano, 13.2 and 5 wins. Tyler Reddick, 13.3 and 3 wins. Chase Elliott, 13.9 and 3 wins. Bubba Wallace, 15.3 and a win. And Chris Buescher, 16.2. Now, if we narrow that down from the 39 intermediate races down to the 23 races on these similar tracks, I'm talking Las Vegas, Kansas, Texas, Charlotte, aka the cookie cutter tracks, which when these tracks, when we took a race away from Texas, when we left Chicagoland, when we left Kentucky, when we went from the oval to the roval at Charlotte, we did that because the intermediate racing was not that good. People didn't want to see it. Yes, that was then, this is now. We know that, and NASCAR has accepted this with why Chicagoland is back. I know people want the oval back instead of the roval. That is a Marcus Smith deal with SMI. He likes the two different experiences. Me personally, I think each track deserves one race and one race only. But that is the fantasy booking kind of schedule, which will be at the end of the year, hopefully. I'm working on that right now. I got 2 schedule ideas I'm working on. So for now, we have these races: Vegas, Kansas, 2 races each; Texas, Charlotte, each one on the oval. William Byron, 8.91 average finish in the 23 Gen 7 races at those tracks with 2 wins. Ross Chastain, 9.30 with 2 wins. Kyle Larson, 11.45 with 4 wins. Christopher Bell, 12.91 with a win. Denny Hamlin, 13.0 with 2 wins. Joey Logano, 13.82 with 3 wins. Tyler Reddick, 14.48 with 2 wins. Alex Bowman, 14.81 and a win. Chase Elliott, 15.36 and 2 wins. And Brad Keselowski, 16.0. Now, when we get narrowed down to just Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the stat earlier was 11 of 13 previous winners qualified inside the top 10. So playoff drivers outside the top 10. They don't necessarily have to win, but a win here gets you automatic bid to the championship 4. Ryan Blaney is qualified 14th. He's the only playoff driver out of the 8 is outside the top 10. Got Hamlin, Briscoe, Bell, Elliott, Byron, Larson, Wallace, Reddick, Logano, and Gibbs as the top 10. I know there's a lot of, which is shocking to me to see the hate for Hamlin over Kansas and the love for Bubba over Kansas. It's kind of funny to me to see some of the online fan base hate so much on Hamlin because of the move at Kansas, and wish Bubba was here, could win, basically win this race and go on to Homestead or go on to Phoenix. It's rather funny. We look at Kansas, for instance. Denny Hamlin should not have dove to the inside and should have let Bubba win. Denny Hamlin should have known the points and let Ross Chastain past him and get Ross Chastain in the playoffs over Joey Logano. But we don't want race manipulation. We hate it. If Denny Hamlin would have done both of those scenarios that people said online that he should have done, that's race manipulation. I got no issue, as a Bubba Wallace fan, I had no issue with Denny Hamlin did at Kansas. Denny Hamlin went for the win. You should be going for the win. That's where the whole playoff, non-playoff thing, one of the things people talked about was back in the day, you would have drivers not push it. They went for a go points day over going for a win. You got Denny Hamlin going for a win here. Yeah, he took out the car he owned, but like Denny said, when I'm on track, I'm the driver of the 11 car. I'm trying to win for the 11 team. When Bubba flipped Denny off, he flipped off the driver of the 11 car. He didn't flip off 2311 owner Denny Hamlin. Now, like Denny said, outside the car, in property of 2311, he does that. Yeah, we got boss employee issues. But on track, okay, cool. But, yeah, I don't like this whole people talk about race manipulation, because back in the day, we had it all the time. How many times did a friend and or a teammate let somebody get down in front of them on a restart, or not only on a restart, but let somebody lead a lap to get the 5 points and then pass them back? That's race manipulation for points. But I'm just saying, that did happen a lot in the old days. Las Vegas, 7 races in the Gen 7 car. Ross Chastain average finish 5.42. William Byron, 6.38 with a win. Kyle Larson, 8.71 with 2 wins. And one of those came in the fall race of 2023, which got him into the championship 4, and he failed to win. We talked a lot about Logano winning 2 of the last 3 fall races at Vegas and going on to Phoenix and winning the championship. Larson failed at doing that. He won Vegas but failed at the championship. Before anyone says that Phoenix is a Ford track, Phoenix is a Penske track, every single team has the same opportunity on the sim and during practice for the race itself. They have a spring race as well to figure that track out and figure out why Penske is so good there. Alex Bowman, 11.5 with a win. Joey Logano, 12.57 with 2 wins. Daniel Suarez, 13.42. Kyle Busch, 13.71. Tyler Reddick, 13.85. AJ Allmendinger, 14.0. Denny Hamlin, 14.14. Now, all these tracks that we go to twice, you typically see sometimes a difference in the way the tracks are from the spring race. This was back in the winter almost, February, to a October race. So the last three, so 22, 23, and 24, playoff races, round of 8 races at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in October. Ross Chastain average finish 4.66. Joey Logano 4.66 and 2 wins. Kyle Busch 6.33. Denny Hamlin 7.66. William Byron 8.0. John Hunter Nemechek 9.0. Daniel Suarez 11.33. Chris Buescher 12.0. And Christopher Bell 12.66. So we've looked at intermediate tracks, all of them. Just the cookie cutter Vegas, Kansas, Texas, Charlotte intermediate tracks. Just Vegas, and then Vegas during the playoffs. Couple of common denominators here. Ross Chastain runs well at these tracks. Joey Logano runs okay at all these tracks. William Byron runs well at these tracks. So we have some overlap there of what those stats mean. Now, average running position at Vegas. So basically means if you're leading the first 50 laps and you blow up, your average running position would be 1.0. Never happened, but I mean, for example, William Byron 7.59, average running position at 7 Vegas races. Kyle Larson 8.95. We know in 22 the issue he had with Bubba that affected his average running position. One thing that we learned from that: drivers should give a little, take a little, instead of just take, and they get mad when somebody takes them. But you know. Ross Chastain 9.46, Joey Logano 10.48, Denny Hamlin 10.98, Alex Bowman 11.65, Tyler Reddick 11.99, Christopher Bell 13.1, and Kyle Busch 13.21. Now what I do is I take all those stats, I figure out my 4 picks for the win, and then I figure out my NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup. So NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup is going to be William Byron, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, with Alex Bowman in the garage. Seabell and Denny Hamlin were going to be in the lineup, but I have 1 start each left for them. I was saving the Seabell one for Martinsville, same way with Denny Hamlin. Head-to-heads, Larson, Byron, I'm taking Larson. Logano, Bell, I'm taking Logano. Hamlin, Blaney, I'm taking Hamlin. Briscoe, Elliott, I am taking Elliott. Now, for the playoffs, matter of fact, I did not write down the winners here, so we're going to write that down in real time. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. So playoffs right now, round of 8. So the top 4 finishers of this round go on to the championship 4, or if you win, you move on. We know Talladega is a wild card race next week, quote. And then we have Martinsville. God, I love Martinsville, the cutoff race. So right now, Denny Hamlin plus 8, Ryan Blaney plus 6, Kyle Larson plus 4, William Byron plus 4, Christopher Bell plus 4, Christopher Bell minus 4, Chase Elliott minus 14, Chase Briscoe minus 14, and Joey Logano minus 24. There's so much talk of what to do next year, and we found out Steve O'Donnell, when he announced the increase in horsepower, that after the season's over with, they're going to get with the championship committee, drivers, the industry, and they're looking for the best way to move forward, either be a playoff or non-playoff. I personally think there'll be some type of playoff, but more that Steve Allen talked about getting the drivers to buy in, getting the teams to buy in, getting the fans to buy in, the media to buy in. I have a bad feeling, which it's not really a bad feeling. I have a feeling it's going to be full season points, which is fine. We did that for so long, that's fine. I've been a fan of the sport since the late 80s. I've watched all these full season points. In the moment, full season points, back in the day, we had drivers win with 2 races left. Dale Earnhardt won at Rockingham with 2 races left. We had Jeff Gordon won with 2 races left. We had drivers going into the last race of the year at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dale Earnhardt just got to finish 28th or above to be champion. Or this driver just got to start, take the green flag. Or I think Rusty Wallace had to take the green flag to win the championship. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. We talk about the 1992 season. 7 drivers mathematically able to win a championship. It came down to Bill Elliott and Alan Kulwicki. Alan Kulwicki led the most laps, over 1 lap over Bill Elliott, and won the championship. What we forget about that season is Davey Allison was the points leader going into the finale. 25 point lead over Bill Elliott. Alan Quickie was third. Alan Quickie was 150 points down with like 10 races to go or something. It was like at Bristol, he was like 150 points out, which was basically a race back then. So yeah, I mean, we had those dramatic moments. We also had those, hey, 2 races left, we have a champion crowned already. Now, one thing that I have said, and I said this online all the time, the best statistical driver hasn't always won the championship. What do I mean by best statistical driver? Talking wins, top 5s, top 10s, average finish, laps led, that kind of stuff. There are times where the only stat that mattered was points. So basically, I know the playoffs don't always crown either, but I'm just comparing it. I'm just saying full season points. Matt Kenseth, the last year of full season points, 2003, in the last 12 races, had 1 top 5. That's it. Oh, sorry, in 12 races, it was 1 or 2 top 5s. Wasn't more than that. I think maybe 1 top 5 in 12 races. Finished last in the finale, and he was your champion. Oh, okay. I mean, it's based on consistency. So we're just going to throw every stat out except for consistency. And I say that to say this. So right now, if we took the playoff piece out, look at just full season points. I know we don't race that way, and this is just add points up. William Byron's your points leader. 27 behind is Ryan Blaney. 35 behind is Kyle Larson. Steve Bell's 46 behind. Those are within a race because you get 61 points as max for a race. Chase Elliott is 64 points out. He is more than a race out. Denny Hamlin 78. Chase Briscoe 100. Tyler Reddick 141. Joe Logano 228 already eliminated. I know if Logano goes on to win the championship this year, see, he would have been eliminated if it wasn't for. No. Everyone races based on the system in place today. What's going to happen, and I already foresee this, and I think Dave Moody actually talked about this as well, we're going to go whatever system next year. So let's say full season points, 36 races. There's going to be somebody out there with a computer that's going to figure out, if we had the playoffs still, this is what would have happened. Then they're going to go online, just like the people do with the Winston Cup points. Well, if we still had the playoffs, this driver would be champion right now. Not a real system. Oh, okay, whatever. It's based on the system in place. I say that about the best statistical driver to show you this stat. Right now in wins, Hamlin and SVG 5 wins each. Christopher Bell 4 wins. Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson each with 3. William Byron, who overall points leader without playoffs, is 6th in overall win and 6th in wins. Top 5s: Blaney, Briscoe, and Hamlin each with 13. Bell and Larson with 12. Your overall points leader would be William Byron. He's 6th in top 5s. Top 10s: Bell, Larson each with 18. Blaney, Briscoe, Elliott with 17. Briscoe and Hamlin each with Chris Buescher, Buescher and Hamlin each with 16. William Byron's tied for 8th with 10. Average finish: Bell 11.68. Elliott 11.96. Chase Briscoe 12.37. Oh yeah, there's William Byron at 13.37. So he's not even in the top 3 in average finish. He's not even in the top 6 in any other stat. But points, he leads in points, so I guess he's the most consistent, but not the best driver, not the statistical best driver. Average finish, not even top 3. So he's gotten more points. That's it. One stat. And that's what people want to crown a champion on, is that one stat only. But anyway, my playoff format, and I talked about it on here before, is kind of a chase playoff combo with a twist. So you win, you're in, plus the top 15 in points, plus any additional winners. You run 3 races, top 12 move on. No reset, no win and move on. You run 3 races, top 8 move on. No reset, no win and move on. Then you run your 3 races. Your top 4 in points move on. Then you do a reset. So those 4 drivers use all those playoff points they've earned all year long in that finale. So right now, if we did the no win and move on, no reset, around the first round, so top 15 points plus additional winners, top 12 move on, top run 3 races, top 8 move on. Those top 8 are actually the same 8 that are in the round of 8 for NASCAR, but the points are a little different. So Larson, Bell, Briscoe, Blaney, Hamlin, Byron, Elliott, and Logano. So even in a chase format with eliminations, those are your 8. Larson plus 25, Bell plus 22, Briscoe, Blaney each plus 19, Hamlin minus 19, William Byron plus minus 22, Chase Elliott minus 40, Joey Logano minus 51. So that means in my here scenario, the chase / playoffs with a twist, I'm calling it, Logano would have to make 51 points up on Kyle Larson, or on one of the 4, have to really struggle for him to be in the championship 4. Now, the top 3 in points, based on my format with the chase with eliminations, Larson, Bell, Briscoe. Larson has 3 wins. He is tied for 4th in wins. Larson has 12 top 5s, tied for 5th, so a little bit above Byron. Larson is tied for the most top 10s. He's not there in average finish, but Bell is, and Briscoe is. So it kind of fits the stats as well. You have that still win and move on, or win and you're in playoff format that I like. You have the old chase, because a lot of people said they don't like the current playoff format, but they would settle for the chase. This is the chase with eliminations. Now that whole body of work for the whole year with the playoff points, you get at the finale. So yeah, is there a chance you could clinch once you get down to Martinsville and re-rack everything point wise and do the reset? Could that driver have enough points to be champion? That's possible. Do we celebrate? Then we would celebrate the champion going into the finale, or do we celebrate the champion at the end of Martinsville? I mean, obviously we can figure points out like that before inspections, so why not? I think it gives you the best of both worlds. So we're going to see what that looks like going into going into Phoenix. All right, the 4 picks to win the South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway: Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, William Byron. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.